happened on the 1st of March?
Just listening to some music, wanted to put some gas in our tank, and then we saw the first missile hit. Shit, I will be going to be hit with some shit. Right? If something sticking out of my head and my face was fully covered in blood, I understood that I have to take off my clothes, and the third missile came. I was angry, I was super pissed, I was, willing to kill the motherfucker.
You remember, Igor, when you were hit, I was filming everything.
I'm sure, pretty much, like 100% sure that no one will get into your hospital room without you allowing them to come into it. No one will film you, because I was in the hospital, I know how it works. Here's my scar.
Hello everyone, we're having this kind of short interview. This is the Igor Kozlenko, my ex-husband. Together we were the victims of Russian cruise missile attack on Kyiv TV Tower on the 1st of March. And I'm going to ask Igor several questions about that attack, about his opinion on what's going on right now, about the war and everything. Hi Igor.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm fine, you. Thank you for your time, and tell me and everyone what happened on the 1st of March.
Well, we have been driving to help Liza's friend at the TRO organization.
Territorial defense.
Yeah, territorial defense. We took some clothes, we took some food downtown. We gave it to them, and then we have been going home in our car, just listening to some music, wanted to put some gas in our tank, and then we saw the first missile hit the park near the TV tower, and well, I panicked, I hit the brakes, and then I backed up a bit, reversed, and then Lisa said, we have to get out of the car, so I killed the engine. She went off the passenger's door right into the bushes, and I was running around the car, and the second missile hit. I saw the fireball, and I realized, shit, I will be going to be hit with some shit right now. So I grouped myself somehow, and I felt the first shrapnel hit my hand, so it was sharp pain, and then I felt second one hit my head. The hand wasn't painful too much, but the head was, and I felt like blood was flowing to my eye, down to my clothes. I was afraid that something is sticking out of my head, so I asked Lisa if something's sticking out of my head. She said no, but are you hit? And my face was fully covered in blood. We started running towards the trees and nearby buildings. While we have been running, I understood that I have to take off my clothes because they will be soaking in the blood, and I need to see what's happening with my hand. So yeah. In the meantime, Lisa called the ambulance. They said, "Do you know exact address?" We said, shit, no. It's near TV Tower. And they said, okay, the nearest hospital is somewhere. I'll give you the address. So that was very strange, because how the injured person has to go to the hospital if the car doesn't arrive. But yeah, so this is pretty much what happened. And then Lisa ran out to the road. She stopped the car. I was walking behind, taking my clothes off to release my hand from the clothes. And the other driver stopped. He offered his help. So we ran back to the car, took some clothes from the trunk, and the third missile came. And thankfully, no one was hurt by the third one. And we jumped into the car. The driver was nice enough to drive us to the hospital. I was bleeding all over his car. Then once we entered the hospital, I received some basic help, some Titan, some basic
First aid.
Yeah, first aid kit. And then I had to walk around 300 or 500 meters to another building, still bleeding, because in another building there was a surgery room, and in that building they took care of me. So yeah, that's pretty much what happened.
My question would be, what were you thinking when you were hit by the shrapnel first, second, and then what were you thinking in the car and at the hospital before you went to the surgery room?
Well, strange thing, I was very calm, like very calm. Uh, Especially when I saw the fireball. Like I remember me thinking, like I will be hit, hopefully not in the head.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
When I was hit in the head, I was hoping like that not like no extra part of like a metal sticking out of my head. So yeah. When in the car, I was pumped with adrenaline. Wasn't thinking too much. I was angry, pretty much angry because like.
Because it's our car.
Yeah, because it's our car, our country, our life. And there was no no warning, no air warning that the missiles coming, and it's not a army or political building. It was just a road near the TV Tower, and like some people died, which we didn't know at the moment. But yeah, I was super pissed. I was willing to kill the motherfucker who sends the missiles to Kyiv, to my hometown. And in terms of surgery, I remember me starting to shake before the surgery because adrenaline was wearing off, and I was
You kept on losing blood.
Yeah, I was losing blood. The adrenaline was wearing off, and I started to shake. Like my body started to shake. And I asked the doctor, "Is it okay?" He said, "Like yes, it's fine. You go into the shock. It's gonna be okay. Just relax." I remember that they put the mask on my head, and it's blackout. Then I just woke up in a how you call it, the room where you come.
ICU, intensive care unit.
Yeah, in ICU. I remember me walking up in ICU. That's it.
I see. You remember, Igor, when you were hit, I was filming everything. When you were bleeding, when we were in the car. Do you think this is right and correct? How did you feel? Did you want to tell me, Lisa, stop filming, just help me?
No. I was okay. I was mentally fine. Like we took care of initial wound. We like put some pressure on it, and this filming is evidence of Russian war crimes, which has to go to Gagan court. Yeah, and we have to show the world what monsters or piece of shits this so-called politicians are, and we have to take proactive actions, and there is no other way to do it.
And as a victim, you think it's correct to film? And what's about consent? Some victims, they're not able to give you the direct consent when you film their wounds, but do you still have to film as a journalist, I don't know, as a military, if you're nearby with the camera? Or as just civilian who saw this atrocity, this war crime, should we keep on documenting it no matter whatever? Or we always have to ask for permission, and if there is no permission, we don't film it? Moral, ethical question.
I would say you can film it. You may film it. In terms of a public release, you can get the consent afterwards if person is alive and fine and breathing and like mentally stable. If person gives you consent in the moment, you can release it right away. If person dies for some reason, for God's sake, then you can ask the relatives, but you have to film it. It can be sent anonymously to the Hagen justice, but it has to be done.
Okay, good. And again, a very sensitive topic, sensitive question. I showed you the video of Iryna Dmitrieva. At the hospital, and that video, it was judged by the society and by the ethics committee of journalism. Do you think this video should be published and released?
I mean, if she, as a victim, gave a consent to the journalist who came to her, I'm sure, pretty much, like 100% sure that like no one will get into your hospital room without you allowing them to come into it. No one will film you, because I was in the hospital, I know how it works. So if the video was done, she most likely gave her consent. So most likely she wanted this to be published and released. So most likely, yeah. It should
And we'll
be.
get to know for sure once she recovers
Yes,
completely, and we are praying for her health, and
Exactly.
hopefully she recovers soon.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And the last thing I would like to ask you, what are you doing right now? On which front line you're fighting right now, and why it is important?
Well, currently, I'm working with a company. We help. Well, I cannot go into details, but we help our country. We donate some funds to our army fund, like Ukraine, come back alive, and so on. So trying to help our army with finance as we go.
And by earning money at the office, you're paying taxes. This is how you contribute to the economy of the country.
Exactly.
I was not realizing this front line myself. I was a little bit mad because I was thinking that those who are not fighting actively, they're not fighting at all. But it's not true, and I have changed my opinion, and I'm in full realization that this front line is very important. That
we have to work, otherwise, like, there has to be people who bring money to the economy. That money which can be converted into the firearms or food for soldiers who don't work, who help our country to be in one piece.
So there must be front line, like real military front line, and the rear.
Yes.
Okay, good. And the last question, do you have anything to say to the world, to the Western community of politicians, journalists, I don't know, to Putin, to Russian people, whatever, you're free to say whatever you want.
Close the skies, guys. I mean, it's a basic thing we have been asking for like a lot of days. You don't do anything. Send us some more help, and let's hope this war will be finished soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Igor, very much. And yes, the last thing I would like you to show at least the scars of your wounds and your X-ray diagnostic scans which you have with you.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, as Ukrainians, we always have to prove that it's not a staged video, that it's not a theater, it's a real life, real genocide of the nation, and real war crimes and atrocities against civilians.
So I have my X-rays of my head, so I still have some shrapnel in my head. This is my side. And this is a forehead view, so it's sticking from the side. There will be some better quality photos later on. Also, I'll stand up, and here is my scar from shrapnel as well.
This one was the biggest one because I was treating the wounds, I know. And you had some minor wounds on your chest?
Yeah, I have some on my chest and on my side, but it's almost gone. So.
Yeah, but all of this was small piece of shrapnel. And right now you have one shrapnel left.
In my head, yeah. It still will be with me for...
As a souvenir. So at the airport, you'll be always signaling that you have some metal piece in your body. And yeah, war souvenirs. Okay, guys, thank you very much for listening. Thank you, Igor. And I hope we all get better soon and we will survive as a nation, as a country.
Yeah.
Thank you. Have a good day, everyone.
Bye.
This is Igor's X-ray scan. The front view from his face, and you can see that small piece of shrapnel which will stay forever in his head. And this is the same piece of shrapnel but from the side. Check.